This crypto loophole makes capital gains tax-free. XCN XRP XLM XYO. Keeping in mind that I am not a tax advisor or accountant, this is for educational purposes only. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil. As always, keeping technical analysis short and sweet. And shout out to Left Iris Vallenatas. He was talking about Lightyear Corp subsidiary of XLM Development actually owns XCN. This is new news to me. I have not done my research on that yet, so I cannot validate it. But if he's saying it, it's a possibility it's true. So maybe do some research and see if you can find out. And also shout out to Jermaine Hansford. He talks trash on every video I make, but comes back for more. I'd be angry too if my name was Jermaine Handjob. Moving on, Bitcoin up around 15% from its low around 108, where we had that support. Could we have a continuation similar to this pattern that I've placed out for the past couple months? Yes, that is a high possibility. Could we see a little bit of consolidation here, maybe a little retracement before pushing back up, similar to this area where we have those days that pushed it up, but we have not closed over this previous high. So we're more or less right here. So the next position, we could have a little pullback, bringing the market back tomorrow. Oh, I don't know what that's about. But then eventually have the push upwards. Moving into XRP, actually XCN, let's do XCN first because that's why everybody is here. You can either watch the full video or you can try and learn something with the other coins that are out there. So previously I was talking about everybody feels like Rocky Balboa getting beat up on XCN. We are just having that consolidation, nice healthy support off this 0.01049. And the 200 EMA is getting very weak. We've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times now. And when we can cross over that, personally, I do not want any rapid movement, busting up through this downward red trend line. I want to see a nice gradual movement over that 200 EMA. So it slowly scoops it up and starts pushing it upwards towards this red trend line. Then once we get to that red trend line, maybe a little bit of consolidation, maybe a push up to the full one retracement from the previous high, which would be around 0.02 cents. Before coming back down, testing this as support and the 200 EMA curving upwards before launching this up to the next real resistance around 0.03 and then the next real resistance at 0.0 roughly 5. So there is a lot of potential to start moving up when we break that downward trend line. We clearly have support at this 1 cent and we just need to get over that 200 EMA before we start seeing this thing testing this red downward trend line, and that needs to be broken for XCN to take off. A lot of people are angry about saying $5 in the previous video. If they did not stay for the whole video, there was Scream up there at $5 for your practical humor. But XCN, we are just waiting for that consolidation. I know we were saying we are waiting for Bitcoin to move, but typically we see Bitcoin move, and then we want to see some consolidation. If anything, a little bit of a retracement and then holding within that area before the next move up, which gives the other currencies like XCN time to catch up and do those massive pumps. They are severely undervalued, especially XCN here at 1 cent. A lot of people will be dipping out around 10 cents. If you're buying in at 1 cent and you practically 10x, that's definitely good profit for cryptocurrency. However, cryptocurrency does have opportunities where they can 100x. So if you're buying at the bottom and you're selling all of it at 10 cents, you're going to be potentially buying in at a higher price, around 4 to 5 cents if it comes back and touches this low. Let's actually go over that. If we push up to 10 cents in this chart on XCN Coinbase, this is roughly the major resistance. 18 cents is its all-time high, but 10 cents, let's actually pull this up in Kraken or something that's got more data. So that's not even it. Let's go to Bitstamp. Where is Bitstamp's new? Sorry for this, guys. Crypto, there we go. 18 cents being the all-time high. We have some previous information here where it started down around 4 to 5 cents, which is exactly the line we need to be breaking to start that movement upwards. Say we pushed up to right here at 10 cents. We peaked a little bit around 11 cents. Maybe some people got trapped before a major pullback all the way down to 7. So if it pushes up to 10, we get a sell-off. We could see some support here around 7, keeping in mind this specific bar that had this like liquidation on everything down to 0.007. Is this a possibility? It is less likely. We may start getting some more support here around 0.78 cents, and after we get to 10 cents. So when we do get to 10 cents, there's probably going to be that sell-off. And you say, Neil, that's only 3 cents differential, but that's about 30%. 25, it could dip lower. It could be testing right here from this previous area, which is 40% decrease. So say you sell at 10 cents, it does a little juke movement, and you enter again, and now you're at 10 cents locked in, and it drops 41%. You now lost 41% of your profits. So if you're scalp trading and you're selling at 10 cents, try and hold out for the 7% or 7 cent retracement, around a 26% reduction in price, maybe a little lower, maybe 30 to 40% is a possibility, before re-entering for that next leg up to 18 cents. I could be completely wrong. We could bypass all of that, but I have a strong feeling we are going to get some rejection here at 10, 7, and 5 cents. Keeping in mind the bigger pattern, this black downward trend line is essentially what we need to get over for any real major movement. And typically when that happens, it pumps very aggressively. So you're going to be wishing you put more money in at 1 penny instead of 3 pennies or higher. Moving on, XLM. This was the partner that Iris was talking about. And it's very beautiful actually with this downward wedge breaking out, testing it as support multiple times before ultimately testing it as support. 200 EMA is nice and close. I assume the RSI is very healthy just because it had that nice consolidation before the push up, most likely at the 50 area. Let's see if I'm right. I want to see if I just have a sense for these things. Ooh, right, a little over. I was thinking it was under the yellow. So moving back with CM Guppy, RSI is probably going to be having a little consolidation, testing this yellow line, which would bring the overall price a little lower before pushing up, maybe forming a W with a little more consolidation before breaking out and having that potential move up 75%. So if you got 39 cents, less than 2 quarters, and you want to toss it at something like XLM, if you're buying XRP, definitely stack a small bag of XLM. I know I don't have much myself, but I'm more heavily invested into XRP, and that's not the only reason I promote it. It's because I know its use case, its value, and what it has potential to be in the near future. Similar to Bitcoin, we didn't think we would see $122,000 for one Bitcoin when I was buying it at 139. Hindsight. So now we have the opportunity for XRP buying in at $3. If it starts pushing up to 100, you can sell off, wait for it to retrace. I think we're going to have some resistance here at 5, have a potential test back around 3 before pushing up to around 7 to 15, maybe 25 before more consolidation for a couple years. Then we'll start seeing hundreds to thousands in XRP. And the cool news is you can stake your XRP and earn passive income with money that is constantly increasing in price, unlike the dollar that is constantly decreasing in value. You can also stake some XRP with Flare on Flare's network and earn passive income in Flare instead of XRP if you prefer one or the other. You would be earning more Flare than XRP as it is cheaper. And so eventually if Flare starts to pick up to XRP's price, you can start seeing some bigger ROI gains if you're staking XRP with Flare. Me personally, I just want to earn passive income in XRP and wait for that pump. Moving to the last one, or last 3, Cookie DAO is looking a lot better. Volume's picking up. As we were talking about previously, It was holding support on this trend line, and I was expecting that push up to get over this trend line, which happened. And we still have that bullish movement trying to close above this previous high and ultimately break this 200 EMA. When we can hold above that 200 EMA, we see it does have some major pushes upward. 13 cents up to 35 is major potential. 13 cents up to $1 is even more potential. So you have roughly a 10x possibility with Cookie DAO, which also allows staking. So if you have not entered, it's looking extremely healthy right now. Not financial advice to enter that. People who are in XYO, you know the game. Long consolidation, trying to ease over this downward trend line for the past months. And when we get over that trend line, real rejection is the 200 EMA. If we get over that, this is where we are looking for the first push, or this area around 0.017 cents. It is currently less than 1 penny. So you can easily stack your bags, and XYO does have some major potential to start moving upwards from our less than a penny evaluation. I believe it was 25 cents being its all-time high. Maybe 10 cents? I could be wrong. But there is a long way to go. Stack a bag of XYO, XRP, XLM, XCN, and you guys should be set. The capital gains tax, it may not be this year, but the government was trying to create a capital gains tax free for any coin or crypto that was based within the US. XRP, Algorand, HBAR, XLM. A lot of the coins that I list are based in the US and would be capital gains tax free if you're holding them for a long period of time when this bill finally gets passed. Obviously, there will be more tax implementations. They always introduce something that sounds too good to be true before taxing it in a different valuation. But that is the reason for this title for these coins. Sneaking in DNT, as this is beautifully setting up, trying to ease over that 200 EMA. And when it eventually does, this thing has a tendency to rip very high. From 2 cents to 20 cents, 10x also. All-time high is up here at 25 cents. So a lot of potential for DNT. I personally have a pretty decent bag of DNT, writing this one out for the swing trade. Keeping in mind none of this is financial advice. It's just so you guys know what coins are out there that you can diversify into. And Perpetual, beautiful, building that base, trying to get over that 200 EMA. This one actually looks probably a little better than DNT. Not a whole bunch of resistance with that 200 EMA, and a long way to go to hit the top. Way up here, $24 to $25, currently at 29 cents. So a lot of reward, very little risk at entering in at this price. None of this is financial advice, just keeping that in mind. And I do have another video specifically for Tornado Cash. You can trade it on MEXC, reference link in the description below. And if you use that, you get 10 USDT for free, currently up over 100%, while the rest of the market is trying to catch up to break even from a lot of entries. But Tornado Cash, beautiful, beautiful entry. That's it for this video. Like and subscribe if you have not, and use those reference links below for that free money. And good luck. Have fun with it. I will see you on the next one.